screens. There we go. Welcome to In the Drops, your number one esports virtual cycling podcast. My name is Nathan Krake, and I'm joined by my co-host, Rob, the Recon Master Bane. Together, we discuss the world of indoor cycling, share news, updates, hints, tips, and strategies for new and expert riders alike. This is going to be a great show. Coming up, we're going to take a look at ZRL and the brand new, never been ridden, Stage 6 Brae-kfast Crits Grits. We're going to continue our review and assessment of ZRS, so there could be a rant incoming. Rich Vale joins us to announce the new FRR team racing series. Yay. And could this be the first time that Rob gives an A in Rate My Ride? Let's find out. Don't forget, we've got the quiz at the end of the show where you get to go head-to-head with us and test your Zwift knowledge. So it's time to get out of the saddle and in the drops, play the intro. I know what I did wrong there. From last
I wasn't
week.
watching. I didn't see. What did you do?
Well, I had your camera as the intro camera from last week, and I hadn't changed it. So it's there we go. It was.
I tell you what. Before episode 100, we're gonna nail one of these finishes. Intros. Do you know? Last week I practiced it. I was practicing it for about. No,
yeah,
sorry.
It's hard, isn't it?
I practiced it for about an hour beforehand. I was just repeating it over and over again, like what I was going to say for the intro. So I had it down, and then Randy, do you remember? Just before we were starting, she knocked over all her equipment. Oh. There was just stuff falling everywhere as I was trying to get the intro out.
Yeah, like, that's it. And did you know that? So she spilled her coffee. For those that weren't watching last week, she spilled her coffee, but kept powered on, so cleaned it up and got it all sorted, and it kept working. And then in one of her next races, like her microphone had completely failed, and so I think she was just using the microphone on a webcam. And so I don't know if she's gotten it fixed yet, but certainly I'm glad it didn't fail for us. But yeah, I'm sorry, Randy.
Man, I could not have done that all on my own.
It's a tough gig, isn't it? But no, it was a great episode. You guys did really well. It was fantastic. That's the first episode that out of all the episodes we've done that I've not appeared in. So
yeah, well, it's lovely to be back with you, Nathan.
Yeah, thank you, mate. But I looked at the view count.
Back together.
The view count went up, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Did it?
Yeah, it went right up. I think it might have been Randy as well, but I don't know. I mean, I like to think that it was Randy being on the show and not me being not on the show. Right.
Well, I suppose this week is the the tester, isn't it?
Yeah, because if the views don't go up, then that's clearly what the issue was. All right. So we've covered this off. Who's in the chat at the moment? Oh, Alex is there. Hey, Evo. Old Evo's.
Old Evo. Old Evo. Old Evo.
He's hasn't been there. Steph's turned up. Dave's there. Damo.
Yeah.
JD's got an excuse about being on a coffee break, but now he has to go back to work. I think that's pretty shit. So, come on, you can do better, JD. Okay, so he was looking at the run sheet.
You haven't asked me how I am. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, mate. How are you?
I meant to ask me how I am.
Yeah.
I've had a pretty tricky week, but I did last night, just looking at my background, reminded me when I joined the show that I saw the Northern Lights for the first time on this stupid bloody planet. That I've seen the Northern Lights. It was great. Went out with my eldest son and we drove out into the countryside so we could get darkness, and it was there, and it does look just like the background to my to Glasgow.
Okay. So it's not they're not making it up. Dave, I know my camera says Rob. I've messed that up.
We mixed up.
There we go. So that looks pretty impressive, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's my lad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as intense as that when you look with the naked eye, but your camera brings it out massively.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you can still see it. You just, it's maybe like, I don't know, maybe about a quarter as bright as that.
Yep.
So you could miss it if you weren't looking for it with the eye. But once you get your camera out, you just see it. I don't know what the camera does, but it's magic.
Just brings it out. What kind of camera was it? Was it like an iPhone or a proper camera?
Just an iPhone camera, yeah. My son's photos are actually much better. I think he's got a better phone than me.
Okay. Didn't want to include that. Just want to give us the shitty one.
I don't have access to my son's phone.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Yeah, but I'm all right.
You good?
In general.
How's the knees?
Yeah. Ooh, I'll get the MRI on Monday, so we'll find out. But
Yep.
yeah, I don't. I don't know what's going to happen. Basically, I kind of want an op to get sorted out, but the doctor was like, "Oh no, I can't keep operating on you every couple of years." So we'll see. We'll see how bad it is, I suppose.
So would they just choose not to? Sorry, Mr. Bane, you've been here too often. We're not going to operate anymore. Let's go and deal with it.
He said you might be able to do a cortisol injection or something, which seems weird. Like if you've got bits of your knee knocking against each other and cracking, like an injection, what's that going to do? He doesn't know what he's on about. Or maybe he doesn't know what he's on about.
Clearly.
Dan, I raced Dan today.
Oh, okay.
How are you doing, man?
Yeah, good. No knee issues, which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
I did suffer in ZRL on stage 5, and
you did well though. You suffered well.
Suffered well. Is that such a thing? And then went on to do one of the community rides. The is it Turf and Surf, where you go into the cabin?
Yeah. Did I watch all of it? I can't remember if I watched.
I think watch a bit of it, but I do have questions, and I know we're going to touch on ZRS, but my questions are more around the differences between Tim Hansen's Zwift racing app and his grades and Zwift racing score, and because Tim sort of worked with Zwift on that as well, and I can't figure out why they seem to be so different in terms of who's in what category. But first, before we get into that, because I know I can feel it. You're raring to get into it, aren't you?
Yeah.
But first, we'll quickly touch on because I did like your recon, and I've got to hand it to Miguel Steak and Chains, who was in the chat. I think
what a hero!
He might have ducked out. He did an awesome job.
He's in Vegas. I've just given away his location. Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't want his location revealed to the whole internet.
Room,
but that's where he is.
Yeah, Thomas, you're right. Rob's he's just itching to start on ZRS, but so stage 6, so it hasn't been ridden. It's the Brae-kfast Crits and Grits by Jack Cat from OTR. Now, admittedly, we did try to reach out to have Jack Cat on the show to have a quick chat about it. It was a very last minute reach out, and unfortunately, they haven't responded to me. And it would have been great to get their take on all of it and how they came up with the design. But Miguel Stack and Chains, a fan of the show, went through and did it 3 times. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Rob. Why did they do it 3 times? Is it because they went?
The first time he did it, I think he had miles on.
Oh, okay, that's it. Yep.
Oh no, the audio's coming out the wrong place.
Yeah, have you got?
Oh, what? I've got the audio coming out. Oh, I've got. It's because I'm playing YouTube. Sorry, I'm being an absolute idiot. First time he had miles
Professionalism.
On, and then the second time he did the breakaway Brae the wrong way around. So he did the forward breakaway Brae. If I'd watched the first one first and read the description, I would have done it. So then he had to do it again.
So he did 3 times.
He actually didn't do it quite right the last time either. He offered to do it a 4th time. I was like, no, it's fine.
Hang on. So what didn't he do right the 3rd time?
He only did 3 loops of the breakaway Brae, but I could just edit on another loop. So I just edited on another loop and amended the distance counter to make up for it. So
do we think? Do we just everyone in the chat? Do we think we just get Miguel to do it one more time? I want to hear some. If the chat says yes, then Miguel, you're going to have to do it another time just for completeness sake. But it's so it's never been ridden. What's your, and you did a great recon on this, Rob. It's got some fantastic views and lots of comments, like everyone. Tons of comments on there. So what's your take on it? How do you feel about that as a route?
I think it's a cracker, really. I would have liked to go up the gravel side of the skirt. It's quite. there's nothing really steep in it. You know, it's going to be a drag. You know, there's lots of draggy climbs, and you know there will be a push up the sker on the first time. But I would think 80-90% of people at least will get back on because there's a long descent, and you just have to push up the first 7% bit really. Then it eases off, and then there's another push. You'll be fine. But yeah, it's a great it's a great route. Loads of power ups, tons of power ups.
Yeah, 10, isn't there?
Yeah.
Power up almost every time you turn the wheels.
That'll be fun. Yeah, and there'll be opportunities for breakaways, for team tactics, for something for everyone really, apart from long climbers.
I do like the fact that the gravel side is not included. I do not like that side at all. I don't know if anyone else likes that side, but yeah, it's the south side that's included, isn't it?
Yeah, which is the paved side.
The paved side, which is nice.
I suppose the gravel side is included in that you go down it, but yeah.
Yeah, but you're not racing up it, which is, sucks. But no, it should be a good route. Now we're going to, just as a side note, Damo from ZMS Esports Studio who's in the chat, we're also going to cover that as a race. Hopefully, that's the idea, after I've done it on Tuesday. So that's going to be good fun to watch. But certainly, it'll be lots of fun. If you had to tell people, like if you were racing this, Rob, where's your key moment that you would attempt to break away?
Ooh, I think for me, I would go on probably the third Brae.
Yep.
I'd use some maybe like double power up thing, or just before the power banner, or if I got maybe like hide a ghost, try and keep a ghost, and then go off maybe into the Brae actually, something like that I think, and then try it, but it is going to be tricky, but I wouldn't be able to hold it in my division, but I think that's the thing. And what I'd try and team up with someone, like make friends in another team, and friends. Say, how about we both go, just say you're going for, we're going for say 6th in our league.
Yep.
We're not going to win it, but if we teamed up with someone who's in second place, we say, right, okay, we'll both send 2 riders away, on the 3rd lap of the Brae or something like that. How do you fancy that? And that.
So I say, might work. Give it a shot.
Yeah.
Never know you're lucky in the big city.
Yeah, give something a go. You can't just. Then again, it's so draftable that sitting in and then just keeping all your power for the last climb is going to be the default tactic. But I think
is that a bad thing?
That's the boring thing to do, but it's probably the most effective.
Yeah. Yep.
It's very draftable. Almost all of it is very, very draftable.
Very draftable. And I'm kind of looking forward to this. We're sitting the cruisers, my team. We're sitting. I would have hoped that we were sitting a little bit higher than we are at the moment, but we're sitting at 8th, having been bumped from C2 to C1. So, but we finished. Get this, we finished 4th in the race last week, stage 5, which was a fantastic effort. Yeah, one of our team guys has really just jumped a level, and he's been awesome. So it's been pretty good actually. So looking forward to stage 6 and to see how we go. But let's crack on with it though, because I know that ZRS and the Zwift Racing app are something that you want to have a bit more of a discussion about. So what is it? Get us in there, Rob.
Well, I kind of ignored it when it was in the test phase, and let me just say this, that I love the fact that people who've never won a race before have got a chance to win, and in a way that kind of overrides everything else. It's definitely still, in my view, better than the old system where people just trapped. Heavy riders in the lower categories could just absolutely dominate, and it's got to be the way to go, and it's a step in the right direction, but whilst also stepping in some poo.
Okay, so take us through it. What's the bad part of it?
So I'll tell you a little story, Nathan, if you don't mind. I went to do a little race, as is often my want. I think was it Wednesday or something like that, and I was absolutely pants. I just can't climb nowadays. Since I got back from my holiday and with my knee,
And you got your bad
whenever
knees.
I get to a climb at any speed, I just like, oh, I just can't do it.
How's
So it's maybe more like that. And you know, and I don't know whether it's partly psychological or what. But anyway, I got to the climb. I can't remember which route it was, and I just gave up. Oh yeah, it was the Pain Cave one. It was the same one.
Oh yeah, it's Tough and Surf, yeah.
Yeah, so I just I'll just give up then.
Yeah.
No, I didn't give up. You know, I kept in. You know, kept my position. You know, it was back of the first front group, which for me, given I'm like towards the top of that category, you know, generally do pretty well in B. That's below expectations. Yeah. So I think I finished 15 out of 29 in the group.
Okay.
And then a few hours later, I was like, oh, I wonder what that's done to my score. I wonder how far down it's gone.
It's kicked you down.
Given I've performed
not
so
as well as you
poorly
should.
against expectations, and it had gone up.
Oh, okay. So what was it when you went into the race?
I mean, it was like 6-7-4 or something like that.
6-7-4,
and it only went up by one.
Oh, okay.
It only went up by one, so 6-7-5.
Yeah, okay.
No, but in my view, it should have definitely been down. I mean, I was the highest rated in the race.
Yep. Okay.
I came in the bottom half, and nobody who was rated. I didn't beat anyone who was rated above me. Oh, obviously didn't rate it. You know, no one was rated above me. I was rated above
you're
them
the highest rated. Yep.
Yeah. So, like, what? How can that possibly be?
Yeah.
So I looked into it a bit more, and then was it yesterday? They released the article on Zwift Insider.
Yeah, they did.
And I really felt quite angry about it, really. I just thought it was quite insulting. They hadn't tried to tell us how it worked.
Yeah.
And it seemed if I was a cynical man, it would seem as though they were trying to not tell us. In fact, they were trying to confuse us. So I want to go through some of these points on here. As soon as I read this, I was like, right, they're gonna get me wound up. They're gonna get me wound up. So we part with Tim Hansen, the beloved Tim Hansen, expert of
who was
ZRL.
friend of the show.
And I'll propose to, and we continue to get feedback from him. Blah blah blah. Whilst it has, as soon as I read "while," I was like, "Hello, what's coming here?" Whilst it's got a lot of interesting features, you mean brilliant features. And is not hard to grasp by people with some experience. We are looking for a solution that will be extremely easy to understand by total beginners. I'm pretty much an expert in this, and I haven't got a clue what they're trying to do. And I've read this article 3 times. How have they? So that wound me up for a start. How is a scale of 0 to 1,000 easier to understand than a scale of 1 to 3,000? I just don't get that in the slightest.
Yeah.
Okay, right, fair enough. Let's go on then. Initially, they tried to do something rubbish, and it was rubbish. Fair enough. And then a year ago, they tried to do something better. A year ago. Year ago. More than a year ago. And then there's like a complex algorithm. Okay, fair enough. Developed podium bonuses and UI improvements. Okay. To do it for a year and these UI improvements, you can't see what your score was before you started the race. You can't see how much your score changed. Okay, fair enough. Events logic, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, and then there's all this machine learning. Yeah. So just to hold on a second.
Yep.
So when I looked at my score, the way I thought it was working was a velo system. I just assumed that since they got Tim in, and that's the best possible way to do it, that they did it the best possible way. So when I saw that my score had gone up, I was like, well, that can't be right. There must be a mistake.
Yep.
So I looked at some other races, and almost all of them. So I've got some pictures. Almost all of them, like the bottom half or the top, the top 2/3 had all gone up in score. So this is Tim. Oh, Tim happened to be in this race.
Yep.
So let's tell me. So he's come 15th and he's gone up. Let's see the next one. So everyone goes up. Everyone goes up.
Everyone went up.
It doesn't matter if you're the highest rated, and so this guy who's 498, he's gone up, even though that's probably the highest rating. Even though he's come 13th, so you would expect he would go down if he's not performed as well as expectation.
Correct. Yeah.
Let's have a look at the next one. Next picture.
Yep. Next picture.
So that's Tim's. So just zoom out. Sorry. So we can see out. So there's 25 in the race, and the top 15 all went up, and then the bottom 10 all went down.
Yeah.
And every race that I looked at, this seemed to be replicated. It was like the top 2/3 go up, and
the bottom third go down.
I could not build. My jaw hit the ground. I was like, they have not been working on this for a year to say that the top ones all go up and the bottom ones all go down. Surely they have not been doing that for a bloody year, and then come out with this article saying complex algorithms and deliberately obfuscating it. They have done the top ones go up and the bottom ones go down. That's what they've done.
And so
that's how simple they've done it. I know. I just can't. You probably won't believe that anyone could have been working on this for a year.
All right.
And what they've come up with is those at the top go up and those at the bottom go down.
Okay, let's verify this while you're talking. I'm gonna bring up my last race while we're talking, and verify to see if the same trend.
Yeah, everyone get now. It's not without exception. There are some exceptions, and I don't know what they are yet. But in almost every case that I've looked at, the top have gone up and the bottom have gone down, and that's what they've done.
All right. So in my last race, I came 15th.
Yeah, that's.
And so what you're saying is that can I see that? Yep. Okay. I'm just looking. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Can I wonder. I'm just going to, while we're talking, I'm just screenshotting this and I'm going to dump it into that shared space we've got there.
Just while you're waiting, you can have a look at some of the others. I just looked at random. I just looked like the top 3 races that I've done, and it's even worse than that in a way, because it's not the top half even. I think it's based on the starters, the number of people who start the race.
Okay.
Not the number of people who finish the race. Now, the people who don't finish the race don't get a score change, but those who start the race, if half the people don't start the race, then I think everyone goes up. Even if you come last. So
all right, there we go.
Because you get credit for beating the people that don't finish, it seems, but the people who don't finish don't get discounted. So everyone who races just goes up.
Okay.
And it's like, on average, it's like 2/3 of people that scores are going up, and the people at the top are going up. So this is
me,
Nathan. So.
And I'm just dumping up the second
15.
screenshot now. I'm 15th. Do you see anyone that's gone down in the top 15?
Nope. Now, Rasmussen, I would expect Kotnik is top rated by the looks of it, and he's come 8th. You haven't done a great job, Kotnik. You don't deserve more points. You're already rated that high, so he doesn't deserve more points.
Yep.
So. There's 2 different ways that you can do. You can do velo by comparing everyone that you race against. Are you higher rated or lower rated? And you get points against every single one of them, and then you total it up. And that's how Tim's system basically works. There's a lot of added extras that he puts on top of it, but the main thing of it is, if you beat someone that's higher rated than you get more points. If you lose to someone who's a lot lower rated, then you lose a lot of points. And and it works like that. Or a slightly crapper version is, you say, what's what's that predictor thing called that everyone used to use that they don't tend to much more?
Oh, ZRS bike. ZRS.bike. Yep.
Yeah. So that one, I mean, it doesn't do a ranking. It doesn't do a point system. But you say, okay, where would you expect him to come in the rankings? You just rank everyone from top to bottom.
Yep.
And then you just say, okay, you expected to come 7th, you came 6th, so you'll gain a little bit. Yep. Someone who was predicted to come 2nd and comes 8th, they lose a lot because they've messed up compared to expectations. But this one just says, are you in the top or in the bottom?
Well, okay. No. So this is the first screenshot of my race, which we just looked at.
Yeah.
And this is the second. So this is me and below. So I can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
But he got a power increase because he's got a line at the bottom. So
okay.
Jack, is it? Jake?
Yeah, Jake.
So the line
Jack.
at the bottom means they've got a power increase. So that doesn't even count.
And then there's Sun,
it's the same.
Carey, and Carew.
So 8. So what's that? 18 went up and 9 went down.
Yep.
Oh no, the 19 went up because of Lado with the power, but that's an exception because he had a power upgrade. And that's what they've done. So the reason that this is so bad is because an average rider, and now what I don't know, and there's lots of things I don't know, and it might work out all right in the long term, but it doesn't bloody look like it. So if you're an average rider in any of the lower categories, and you just keep racing, you'll get promoted.
All you got to do is finish in the top 15, and you'll go up.
The top 2/3, it would seem. So somebody
and you'll go up.
Just coming mid-pack.
Yep.
And just racing a lot will go up. Now there's lots of things in this system. So that seems weird, right?
Yep.
So you're like, that can't work out. They can't have done it so badly.
Yep.
Because everyone's score would be going up and everyone would just get higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, keep going up and up and up. Yeah, exactly.
But they've said in their article that there's no inflation in it. Now I've always wondered why they included decay, because it just seems like a sandbagger's paradise to have scores.
You just got to wait and then you'll come back down again.
Yeah, so why include that? You don't get worse just because if you're doing a structured training program rather than racing, or you're going outside, or you're just resting, or whatever.
But how do they take that into account, though? How do they take that into account then?
Well, they don't. I think they've just. I could be cynical here, but I've never seen any evidence that. I've never seen any evidence that being off the bike for 2 weeks makes you worse. Significantly. Not racing for 2 weeks makes you worse.
Yeah.
But I think they've come across the problem because they've got all this inflation in their system, of points inflation. Yeah. They've got podium bonus points. They've got a lower floor. You've got other stuff. You've got there's other stuff in there, to make sure that, and you've got basic. Oh yeah, you score points against do not finishes, but the do not finishes don't score points. So you've got all this stuff adding inflation into the system to say more points, more points, more points. So that means that their system would inflate, which they don't want. So I think they've just come up with, what if we decay everyone who isn't racing? And that'll help balance it out again. That'll take out the deflation.
Yep.
So everyone who's racing, even if you're mid category, now, unless they come out with something, and there could be something like, and they should be shot if they haven't included this, but there's no indication that they have, is that what it should do is the better it gets to know you, the lower volatility you should have. But
okay, so it sort of evens out a little bit.
Yeah, so I come mid-pack in the first race, I get 10 points. Next one, I get 8 points, 6, 5, 4, 3. Yep. But I'm still going up.
Yeah.
And if I still go up and up and up and up by coming mid-pack or top half, or that shouldn't promote you. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
And that's what it looks like, exactly what it is.
Yep.
And the way that they've got around all this bloody inflation is by penalising is by giving the people who don't race and the sandbaggers a decay, and giving the people who do race, fair enough. You just have to go up into A.
Yeah.
And they'll just keep on going. Someone who's never got near a podium in B race, if they raced every week, they'd end up in A.
So these races we're looking at, these are all different. These are all different races, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's the same crack in every race.
Yeah.
Every race I looked at, I could not believe it. And then when I read the article, they don't say that it's a velo system. They don't say that. They said, so what I think that, so how I think it's working is they're taking the average rating of everyone in the race.
Yep.
Sorry, everyone who enters the race,
Yeah,
which is weird.
Not finish
rather
it.
than
Yep.
those who finish. Everyone who enters the race, taking the average score, and then divvying it up along the positions, so the highest gets the most, and the difference to the average, just divvy it up, wang a bit of a podium bonus in there, and off you go. And yeah, I could be wrong. It could be a lot more complicated than that. But
well,
they haven't done basic stuff like ensuring there isn't a sandbagging thing in there.
Yep.
So I'm going to try and do every single one of these 35. Yeah.
And then try and evaluate it
on a Saturday.
Yep.
And then try and what? Oh, no, I'm not trying to evaluate. Just because I always do Z races. Yeah. I've done a whole 108 or whatever it is. I'm not going to give up now just because they're every day a different stage. So some days I might have to do 3 on a Saturday to catch up. And I'd quite like to zone 2 one of those. And if I zone 2 it, I'm going to sandbag my score. That is the way it's going to go down.
Yeah.
And people are doing it left, right, and centre. People are going in, zone 2 in races for whatever reason.
Well,
maybe to sandbag their score, but maybe just because they want to ride the route.
Yeah. That's
That's bagging the score,
which is fine. But yeah, exactly. I tell you what, anyone who's watching this, there's a link to our Discord channel in the description below. So if you're not a member there, go and jump into that. If you're comfortable with doing it, grab a screenshot of if you've been in these races, you've done Zwift racing before with the ZRS. We'd love to see your results. So like the screenshots we've had on screen there, just jump into the Discord, drop them in there, and it'd be interesting to sort of try and get some sort of idea of whether what Rob's saying is actually happening. And not saying that's not, but it'd be good to see some other examples of people in different categories and what they're experiencing.
I just couldn't believe it's just like the top half goes up and the bottom half goes down. I mean, I know, James has said that they've got, PhD data scientists working on it, but that doesn't impress me. So the most incompetent person I've ever worked with has got a PhD. Now, it's a good sign that someone's got a PhD in general, but it does not mean that what you've produced is any good. Yeah, now, it may be. Maybe I've misunderstood it. Maybe this magic is going to kick in somewhere along the line that will stop what I think is going to happen.
What's going to happen, which is everyone's just going to balloon up.
Because they haven't told us how it works, then we've got to speculate. It's our job to speculate, God damn it.
Right.
And
reckless speculation.
It is, though. If they're not going to tell us how it's working, as they promised they would, by the way, as they promised they would tell us how it's working.
Well, that's it. They haven't told us, like, what are the triggers. It's just that, we're making observations based on the information we have, and they're not filling in the gaps of how it's actually working. It'll be interesting to see if anyone does have their results. They can post in Discord. We'll have a look at it, and we'll see if we can sort of try and zero in on this. And I'm just reading some of the. If anyone has any questions in the chat, drop them in there, and we'll try and answer them. But I'm just looking through.
I saw one from. Sorry, my audio's cutting out, but I saw one down arrow with a line means you've hit your seed floor.
Floor, yeah.
So you've got a seed score based on your 30-second power and 10-minute power, and they still won't tell us how that's calculated. And then you can go up to 15% below that based on having crap results.
Yeah.
But they have to be really crap. You just got to go down.
Apparently, it's got to finish in the bottom half.
Well, bottom third. Paul Dixon's race was in there, and he was in an A race, and there was 9 people, which is a reasonably populated A race. I would say that's more than average for an A race. Mm-hmm. And he came. Oh, what did he come? Fourth. Oh, I thought. Okay, 4th out of 6th, and 5 went up, 1 went down.
Yeah.
And So what is that all about?
Yeah.
How can you have 5 going up and 1 going down?
And look at the numbers there too.
So, Paul, he's been a B, he's been an A, and he's a good rider. He should probably be an A.
Yeah.
But coming 5th, that should say, oh no, 4th. Okay, 4th, fair enough. But the guy who came 5th, he should start heading down. He shouldn't be heading further into A category, especially by coming 5th.
Yeah, if he's 712 and Paul's 705.
Yeah.
Sure, there's a Smets at the bottom there, 746.
Yeah, but yeah, he's beaten. Paul's beaten him. Bartlett's beaten him.
Mm.
They're both lower scored. He's come fifth.
Mm. And it's interesting you said that too, which is that you don't get to see what the change was. No. Like on the Zwift power, you can see what you were and how much you've increased by, and then you refresh, and then you got your new score as such. But on here, you don't see that. All you see is what your new number is and an arrow pointing up. And so unless you remember what you were, you're not going to necessarily know how much you improved by.
Yeah. Can we go back to the article? So there was a number of things. Have you ever had someone who works for you, or like a grad, or like maybe a consultant who works for you, and you send them into an important meeting, and then they start talking, and you realize, oh my God, they don't know how to speak to people who aren't in the team. Or something. You're like, oh no, they've done loads of embarrassing stuff.
Yeah,
and that's how I felt like this. And that's my fault. If I send them into that team meeting, that's my fault, not their fault that they didn't know how to speak. So there's stuff like in there where they've said, they're using like over they're not explaining what critical power is. Okay, I know what it is. I know what compound score is. Okay, let's go down a bit. A massive amount of historical data. Okay. Now how do we stop tanking? Okay, well, if your seed score is 85% of your predicted score, sorry, if that 85% is in the lower boundary, then you've done nothing. You've done nothing to prevent sandbagging, literally.
Yep.
Okay, you'll start considering the player score at join time. That doesn't help. I don't know what the hell is that all about. That's nothing to do with tanking and sandbagging.
No, it's nothing to do with
what
anything.
What are you talking about? No. And we are considering discarding low quality races. You're considering it? What? It's an essential. What do you mean you consider it? Why would you not? Why would you possibly not? What are you talking about? You're considering it. It's like, and either you can, if you just said we can't do it at the moment, we can't do it.
How would they do that?
We can't do it. It's just anything. Just do anything. Yeah. Just like, okay, you haven't used 70% of your 5-minute power, your max 5-minute power. You haven't done 50% of your 1-minute power. Anything. Just anything to say that you've worked to a reasonable degree. But if I just put it around at 2 watts per kilogram, I'll tank my score.
Dave was saying in the chat, he goes, I'm the worst sprinter in the world and my score is respective of that, but it still goes up when I finish back of the front group.
Yeah. And it will continue going up.
Yeah.
Until he's in the next category.
Yeah.
So he's just going to go up and up and up. And that's my main point.
Yep.
As far as I can tell, he's just going to go up and up and up. Now, someone might correct me, and there might be a volatility. There should be a volatility thing in there to say that the volatility will keep you pegged. But I haven't seen any sign of it, and they haven't talked about it here. Okay, so anonymize. Why anonymize racing? That they're just sticking in stupid terms that you don't. I don't need. If it's anonymized, why have you anonymized it? And why would I care that you've anonymized it? What crap. Okay, so just sticking in stuff like that just really winds me up. Okay, 10 and 30 seconds. They still haven't said how they've calculated it.
How it works. Yeah,
pants to be. Okay, skill. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's go down a bit. I think is this the bit where they said relative power? Okay, so they've gone about root mean squared error. If you're given a task, I deal with technical people all the time, and if someone says root means squared error without explaining it to a group of non-technical people, I take them outside and I throw them onto the floor of the toilet and kick them in the guts like 7 times. That's the only way to deal with someone who, no, I'm not suggesting violence, but you don't go to a non-technical audience and start talking about root mean squared errors. Anyway, so. And then where's the bit where they say, they said something about relative power. So they were talking about do power. And I was like, what's relative power? I've never heard of relative power. You could do find F or something. Anyway, so I've read this article 3 times and they don't explain how it works.
Yep.
They've checked loads of stuff and it's better than ZR app apparently, but for reasons that they can't tell us. They can't tell us why, and they can't tell us how they've coped. So the main problems that they've got, I would have said, is that they can't possibly model for pen enforcement. Like, Tim doesn't have to cope with pen enforcement. Yeah. So he can just take all the data. You're doing ABC races, and if you just go up a category, and it doesn't affect the vast majority of races that you do. Yeah. So most races that you do are just A, B, C, D, and he's got his diamonds, and diamonds can be in B, and all that sort of stuff. And it doesn't affect the pen enforcement. But so their problem, I would have thought, is that they can't. It would be very hard to model pen enforcement. And they haven't said how they've done that, but
or how they will do it,
yeah. So you would think that would be like the big looming problem that they've dealt with, and they would tell us how they've dealt with that.
Yep.
But it seems like they've dealt with it in the worst possible way, because what's going to happen is everyone who finishes in the top half, who races regularly, will just go up, and they'll land in the next pen, and then they'll go down.
Yep.
Oh, they might just carry on going up if there's like Paul's race where you can come fifth and still go
finishing
up.
And especially if there's small numbers.
If you're not last, as long as you're not last in the A race, you'll still go up. And so, but I think what will probably happen is you'll just go. Everyone who races regularly, everyone who races regularly will coagulate around the boundaries of the
categories
of the pens.
Yeah,
and then all the people who don't race regularly, you'll just go, they'll sit down, and nice.
You'll decay
nice
away, and then you'll come back after outdoor racing, and then smash the category you're in.
Because everyone who races regularly will be up in the next one.
Yep. The straightforward multiplication of absolute and relative power does not necessarily produce the best fitting curve to map critical power intervals and weight onto a racing score that is meant to reflect a user's likelihood to perform well on a Zwift race.
Do you know what they've used to perform well? I think
finishing the top half.
Come in the top half. If you come in the top half of starters, you've done well that race.
Yeah, we'll push you up by some sort of figure. Yep.
Yeah. I think that's what they've used. Right. A lot of modelling uses ones and zeros to say, have you done well, have you not?
Yeah.
And I think they must have developed their model on top half is a 1, bottom half is a 0.
I've got a question. So we've got 55 odd people watching at the moment. I've got a question for those that are in the chat. Hands up. I'll create a poll. But if you want to,
good idea. I like polls.
I want to know how many people. Yep, go ahead.
I think everyone hates me. Everyone beforehand was telling me, leave it, Rob. Don't just judge it in a couple of months' time. I'm like, no, I know if it's crap, and this is crap. And I'll tell you what also annoyed me in the article. It was like, we don't want to tell you what's in the algorithm because it's one of our competitors might steal it.
Really? Who's
what?
Steal it?
Why would they steal your clapped out bagger of a Ford Focus, rubbish modelling system when Tim's Ferrari is just sat there saying, with the keys in, saying, please take me?
Yeah. Yep. So
why would they steal your one?
I've created a poll. Yeah, exactly. Like it's right there. And I'm sure Tim isn't, up until now he was pretty agnostic when it comes to who he wants to work with. And I'm sure if someone else came to him and said, Tim, come and do some work for us, he would say probably yes.
And most of the details are open. It's quite open. Yeah, you can just go and take it if you want.
So the poll I've created is in the chat there. Simple question: do you understand Zwift racing score? So I want to know. Rob has a great handle on it, but I want to know for the regular racers that turn up, do a race once a week. Do you understand it? Let us know, and it'll be interesting to see what people say.
Oh, did I say what relative power was?
No, they don't really say it. I did a quick search, and that was the first. Well, I don't think it's.
Did I say?
No, you didn't. You sort of questioned what was relative power.
I worked it out.
What is it?
What they mean is watts per kilogram.
Oh, okay. So it's going back to that. Watts per kilogram.
They've just, and that's the sort of embarrassing bit about it is they obviously haven't. Everyone who's a racer calls it watts per kilogram or WKG or everyone calls it that. So they obviously, if I'm sending my analysts to do a big project, just say they're going to do analyze a call center or something, and they're going to be working on it for months. I'll say go and sit in the call center, get to know the people, get to know how the metrics are derived, understand the core process, which is deriving the metrics of the thing that you're going to work on for the next few months. Go and sit there, go and learn it, get a handle on it. And they're calling watts per kilogram relative power. How did that come about? How can they have been speaking to racers or understanding racing and calling it relative power?
Yep.
How did that come about?
Well, let's see what comes of it. Whew. How's everyone feeling? Let's get up.
Oh my word! Is that 45 minutes I've been ranting? I'm sorry.
We're gonna get Rich on in a minute. Rich has been so patiently waiting in the green room there just to get on. So
I can't believe I've been talking for that long.
No, it's been good. There's been lots of chat going on about it, and so we've had 28 votes so far. 93% of people who have voted. It's only 28 votes. 93% of people voted don't understand ZRS.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll do a better job to explain. No.
No, sorry. It's not you explaining it and everyone learning it. I think it's more about Zwift haven't articulated it well enough that everyone can appreciate how it works. And so, and what you're saying is what people are finding, which is people are racing. They're either finishing in that top, 2/3 top half and going, well, I've moved up. And the same thing happened to me. I finished 15th out of almost 30 races. I moved up by 1 point. That shouldn't be the case. And then you've also got the question of, well, if you're finishing in the bottom third, is that the sandbagging equivalent of, just soft pedaling a race so that you go back down? And then, as you say, are people going to bunch up around the limits on the different categories? And it seems to be that might be the case.
Yeah, I think they'll have to redo it in a few months.
All right.
I think they'll have no choice.
Let's crack on with it. We're going to talk about Flamme Rouge racing. Let's get Rich on. Hey, Rich. Oh, Rich has disappeared.
Oh, no.
Hang on. He was there literally a second ago.
He hasn't fallen down, has he?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe
he's been racing a lot.
Yeah.
I think he did 2 of the last stage. He's
back
doing his domestique bit as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if back to back. But
if Rich can hear us, we'll have to get him back on. I can hear you. And sorry, I'm just talking to Rich in the background, everyone. But I might get you to refresh your browser, perhaps, Rich. Yep, and see if you can come back in again. Yes, I've been having a great old fun time watching our first host of the show, Andrew Hudson, racing this during the day. He's been on Pro Hours.
He's been doing, has he?
Yeah. So he's been smashing them out. He did Petit Boucoul yesterday, which was fun to watch, and the TTT before that. So I'm going to Rich. Let's get Rich on there. Hey, Rich, how are you?
Rich Fair.
I'm okay, actually.
Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you for having me again.
No worries. It's always fun having you on. Love it. So we're just talking about FRR and Hutto, doing the hard yards there. Petit Boucoul was the last. Am I saying that correctly? Was that the last route?
Well, today was Thierry Bouchon. So yesterday was Petit Boucoul.
Yep.
So it's just a bit of a harder start, I think, Thierry Bouchon as compared to Petit Boucoul.
Yep.
As it goes straight up that reverse comb for absolutely no benefit whatsoever, other than to break everybody up.
Other than just to crush some spirits.
Yeah, exactly. And I've had plenty of comments about doing that.
I think it's an ongoing theme throughout your different series. You want to break people as much as you can.
Well, this week at the end of the day, it's been quite designed to see whether the sprinters can get a bit of a lead. So up until now, we've only really been doing the Petit Boucoul, Petit Colm and that sort of thing. So sprinters, you won't see the climbers really at the top. So sprinters have got a little bit of a lead going into the weekend, and that's how it's been, to try and keep as many people interested and in as possible. But of course, tomorrow we'll send them up bent up on an ITT on Lorraine. I know,
but not even to the top. Cruelly.
No. Well, there's no point on Lorraine, is there? Because as you mentioned earlier, Rob, you don't even get the badge for doing the route.
You don't even get the badge for it.
Rich,
really want to know who hurt you. Like, there's got to be some mitigating factor for choosing all these routes.
Oh no, I think I've been asked that question before, actually on course, and I think I answered. I think it was last year that I used to live at the top of a hill, and all the kids around my street used to laugh at me having to walk up the hill.
Yep.
So maybe it was some sort of psyche thing that.
I
always had to go up the hill. I'm making everyone else walk up that hill with me now.
Metaphorically, or physically, actually, yeah. Get
Probably
them to
both,
crank
actually.
it up there. A quick question. I want to know, what was the sign up like for the France tour?
Incredible.
Yep. Got a lot?
Yeah, I mean, they almost crashed the site.
Really?
I think at the end of the day, Lee Wild sent out an email.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We said actually we were going to close registration 2 days before because we wanted to do a load of checks and this, that, and the other. Obviously, Zwifters tend not to read an awful lot.
So they all came knocking at the last moment?
And I had to shut it Sunday because I had to reopen it, having shut it down. I thought, this is just too mad.
Yeah.
I shut it down. I initially shut it down on the Wednesday with, 1,700. By the time we got to Sunday and Saturday we shut it down, we had 2,100 people signed up. So
wow.
Now they don't all, they haven't all done every stage, but there's been a good majority that have turned up. So
that's huge, though.
It's monstrous. I mean, we used to open the thing. We used to open registration up quite early. People come and tick the box. You'd race in October. You tick the box in July. You think, what did I do back in July?
Yeah.
I'm sure I ticked something. And actually, I need to change. That reminds me, I need to change the website there to tell me that the registration for Britannia opens on Monday.
Oh, nice.
It just went crazy. It just went crazy. So many people coming at the last minute. Can I join? Can I join?
Yep.
Can I? Please. And it's fine. Love it. But it did crash our site at the time. So much so that I had tried to do a server change the night before stage one, and I was up till 2:00 in the morning trying to do a server change. That didn't work, but fortunately the site has stayed up ever since.
Yep.
So we're getting all those sort of connections because so many people were just coming in, registering, and it was just swamping it. So it's been mammoth, really has.
That's awesome. I was going to ask the people in the chat who's doing FRR. I want to get some feedback. Lisa says FRR is the best series ever.
That was Miss Hopkins then.
Yep. And Rich, Darren saying you've crushed his soul.
Lovely.
Yeah, that's what you want to hear, wasn't it?
That's a popular comment, really. I think that is. So,
unfortunately, Thomas, the time zones don't work for Thomas. But I'm sure if they did, he'd be there with his horse mask on and galloping away. If you've seen Thomas, he's got a horse mask he wears sometimes.
You've got to open a Thomas time slot. You should have a race just for Thomas, basically.
Yeah,
he's a superstar.
Where does he live? Tell me. I need to put one on. I mean, we've got so many, obviously, with 7 races a day. How could it not work for Denmark? Thomas.
He's quite busy.
Thomas, email race control and tell me why it doesn't work for Denmark.
Yep. And Andrew's asking what time the FRR races are. Andrew, if you get along to Rich's new website, flamerougeracing.co.uk, you can see it on the screen there. I don't know if I can zoom in. I can't really zoom in there. And I'll put a link in the description below so you can get along, check it out, and you'll be able to sign up for the coming series as well. But you've got also a new thing coming out.
Well, yeah. Do you want to? I can talk about it first. I mean, the first part of this is bring it up onto the good old. Click on that link to the. It says click
here for Fearless Event Hoster.
Yeah. So it's a collaboration that we're approached to do with Team Fearless, and actually it's not that one. That's the. Although actually that's not too bad to be fair.
Do you want the information can be found here?
Yeah, just go to the website page. I think that's
one
the baby. The one.
That's the one.
That's the one there. So
here we go.
Okay,
That's all nice, isn't it? What a nice webpage.
Well, there we go. So it's a collaboration with Team Fearless. We were approached back in July to look to see if we could actually do something together on this great event that they've held for the last 7 years. So we got our heads together and we came up with a slightly different team championship. It's always been a women's only teams championship.
Yep.
And it's a one race fits all for the entire globe. So, and as I say, it's a point where they bring all these ladies together, have a great racing piece. So we put this website together here, and it's going to be on Scotland, Muckle Yin,
the best course,
exactly. With our twins, though, I think, Rob, of how it will work. Not every climb will be a climb. Some of those will actually turn into sprints, and that sort of thing. But the interesting thing about this is a team of five, and the way that we put this thing together is we've called it role racing. So rather than just get a team together, throw them into the A division, it's all actually on. If you could just scroll to the top there, and hit road book. Okay, and then just sort of scroll down and look competition format. So the difference about this particular format for Fearless, and it's brand new for
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh.
Wow.
Interesting. Ooh.
Get out of here.
Everybody as a GC rider everybody as a rider within your team can earn finish points, but your GC rider will earn double their finish points. Okay. So that's the first connotation. You've got roles within your team, best 3 scores from your team to count for your team for this particular event. Okay. So this is what
Richard, I must know at this point, whose idea was this magnificence? That is a cracking idea.
I can't necessarily take it all for my own idea. There's a lot.
In other words, it wasn't you.
I think the concept of role racing came from a friend who's helped me develop an awful lot of stuff on our websites. He's aligned really into the coalition space. What they really wanted to do is to do something in this sort of area. And I sort of said to him, well, I think I might actually have an opportunity to, first of all, test out the whole theory within here. And secondly, that'll bring me to my second point a bit later on. So I can't necessarily take all the credit for it, and I won't. Go on.
Rich, I'm just going to interrupt you there. We may have had just a slight audio issue when you were explaining this, so I just want to go over this. In the team, and you can see that on the screen there, we've got you have to nominate who your roles are for your team members in your team.
So
you got your GC.
So every rider will need to register. Who's going to be part of this will need to register with our website to start with. Then, certain levels, get account and register for this particular event. That puts you on a list for the team manager for the team to pick as many teams as they like. Okay, so you go onto their list and say, okay, then who am I going to stick in which team? And then once you're in a team, they can allocate you a role based on what they know about you, what they think you're going to do within this team, and that sort of stuff. Now, do you want me to go back over the?
We'll just nominate the fact that your climber and your sprinters are only.
So you got your 5 riders. You're going to nominate one to be your GC rider. Basically, they will get double points for finishing. You're going to nominate 2 riders to be climbers. 2 riders to be sprinters. There'll be 2 sprints and 2 climbs on the whole course for each division. Okay, so you get an opportunity. So those are the points you'll win. Everybody can win or earn finish points, but as I say, your GC rider will earn double. So there's some tactics involved here of how to pick your team. However,
However,
I have mentioned that there are 4 divisions.
yes.
So your 4 divisions are determined by how strong your team you pick.
Yep. Right.
So if you're going to be in Division A, now going back to the conversation you were having earlier, Rob and Nathan, about VLO and RTA, we're not using ZRS at the moment. It's nowhere near developed enough. So we will use the ladies or the women's VLO score, so which is a 1 to 10 score.
Mm-hmm.
Simply, you add and get the average number of your VLO women's score into your team.
Yep.
So if you stick your 5 caps together, your average is going to be 1. You're going to be in Division 1.
Uh-huh.
Will they know? Will they know what?
I don't care what they know. I'll know.
So when they enter their team, they won't know what their velo is.
Yes. So as they're building their team, they'll see on screen that score moving around.
Right.
Yeah. So if I go and put a load of people in that sort of space, then it'll be like, well, okay, that's just taken us into the A division. Actually, my score's now come down to 5.2 as an average, which will take us down to probably the C division, something that way.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to move around on screen. Come the registration close time, that's when you've said that's our team.
Gotcha.
And that will place
and
you.
then you lock
so
that
that's
in.
why we need to. That's why you're locking it in. You're closing it. So effectively, you've done a bit of fantasy bike racing with your players, really, haven't you? You put your cap in there. You said, okay, look, if I'm going to be in C, my cap is no more than 5 as an average for my riders, and away you go. So that's the way it works, and it's explained on that road book space there of how we. So if you come out the format. And just close the little red arrow next to the format. So competition format, a little minus sign next to the competition bit there, Nathan.
Hang on. So where am I looking now? Yeah.
So you got competition format and a minus sign to the left of C.
Oh, yeah.
So just click on that. That'll close that, and then let's have a look down there. It's going to be classification of team.
Do you not know how to navigate web pages, David?
You do this.
There we go. So that's how it's going to work. If your team strength is between 1 and 2, you're going to be in Division A. If it's between 3 and 5, you'll be in B. 6 to 7, C.
Okay,
8 to 10,
nice.
D.
Yeah.
Okay, nice and clear cut.
Yep.
Into those things, and obviously once it's closed, we'll get a racing invite for each one of those pens, and away it goes.
Okay, great.
So now you'll see that number 1 to 10, or your team strength, as you pick your team.
Yep.
Okay, so that's always in front of you to know where it's placing.
Where you at? Yeah.
Exactly. Until you lock it in. So that's the concept. So the concept is basically you've got 5 riders. They've got a role to play. How you choose to use your 5 riders it will be up to the team managers.
Yep.
Team managers are the only people who can pick the team.
Yep.
Everybody else just registers to put themselves on the list.
And turns up.
And how you pick the team determines on which division you'll go into.
And so once the team riders are locked into their roles, they can't be changed. That's it.
Once we get to the locked out points, yes. I mean, up until that point, they can change it however they wish.
Move around.
I suppose in the day, if there's a last minute issue and someone has to go and do something, they need to swap something else, we'll always accommodate. So yeah, Robert has a question.
Hello, Mr. Vale. Could I ask? Did you say that you just put yourself down on a list and then people can pick you off?
Say it again. Sounds rude. Anyway,
so when you register, you go on a list of available riders, and then a manager can just pick you off and choose you for their team.
Within your own club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's not
across
the board.
if you not across the board now, so you'll only see the riders within. If you happen to be in the level club, then that team manager will only see the registered riders for level.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I think my idea is quite good, though, isn't it? If you just had a list and then I can pick you all out.
Wow.
Imagine that one.
If we went round that route, went down that route, we'd have to almost do like an NFL type draft.
Be fighting all over the place.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Rich, have you?
I think this is the best idea since someone said, "Why don't you attack the champion sprint from the little bump just beforehand?" I think that it's that good an idea. Oh, that person was me, by the way.
Yeah. Rich, do you? Is this a prelude to you rolling this out as a wider
So the thing that we've started to put out there tonight, as you've seen, there'll be an email set going out to the great and the good tomorrow. Is now imagine this concept.
Yep.
Now, have you got the link that I sent you, actually, Nathan? Actually, if you've got, do you want to put that one up?
Going to go back to it.
Okay. Can we imagine this concept of roll racing under something called Super Sixes? So rather than have 5 riders, we're going to have 6 riders, and we're going to have dual racing each. So if you just roll that down a little bit down there, so we've got a nice little logo down there for our Super Sixes. So a little S6 in the black triangle. So the idea behind that one is that how would this look if this was a weekly team racing event?
Okay.
And we had teams that had 6. We had divisions in 4 regions across the world. We actually had proper relegation, promotion. You also had the point that, I've talked about how a team will get classified. So it'll put you in D, it'll put you in A. We have a point where if I start in D, if I need to move through the D, I need to move through with the cap of what D will allow me to do. So I can't just, if I do float in some caps to, or some A+ riders to try and move, it'll blow my cap.
Yep.
Can't do it. I've got to try and promote myself using people at that level.
Yep.
This is mixed racing. We'll do women's only racing if that demand's there for doing it. And we'll do a one race a week for 52 weeks. Maybe not for 52 weeks, but
what are you doing? What are you doing?
I won't go over the tour season and that sort of stuff. But I think this is an exciting thing to do. Some point in 2025.
This is a real direct ZRL competitor, isn't it?
I didn't say that. Hey, look,
and ladder.
No, well, I want to get involved with ladder and those sort of things. I don't want to take away from what they're doing, but this is a different way to look at it, and a different team racing event.
Yep.
There's plenty of room. There's plenty of room.
Oh yeah.
And my mind's eye is that this will run on a Wednesday. So, and it'll run across these 4 regions. Each series, you'll only you can join at the end of the series, but you will need to join in the lowest division of wherever your class is. We'll do an initial sorting hat of putting things in there. At some point, I don't have a date of when I will start any of this, but I'm putting it out there of basically Super Sixes, and that's the crux of it. I'm sure there's quite a few things I've still got to work out at this point in time, but what we've got with Team Fearless in December, we've got a trial event for Team Fearless on the 22nd November coming up. So again, we're interested in getting as many teams involved, mixed teams. Anybody's available to do that one. It's at 6:30 on a Friday night. We're going to trial all the resulting for it. Everyone's welcome. We'll just get ourselves registered and just see that. So I want to make the Fearless event as good as possible for them, and the trial thing is going to work. So, and I think the concept of setting up divisions and running it as regions, bringing regions together to have a world championship to find out who is the best team in Division A. I'm not talking, again, you've got to get into Division 1 to be in that thing. And then you're going to race APAC, you're going to race America, you're going to race Europe. There'll be another one, probably 2 European ones because of the time zones. But that's the idea at the end of the day. And, my sort of blueprint a little bit for it is the way the NFL works. Go Chiefs. And they have all their divisions, they bring them through together, they have the quarterfinals, they have the playoffs, and then eventually they have their world champions.
Exactly. And so that's how you see this working?
Yeah, that's how I sort of see that working. That's how
there'll be some sort of final series at the end?
Whether it's a final series, actually, it's going to be a one-off race. It's going to be a one-off race that will work for, and there's probably 2 times that will work for the globe, and probably it's around the 7 o'clock at night on a Saturday or something like that. That's all it is. But if you want to win it, and I would love to be able to put prizes up there. So I'll do my best to try and get some sponsorship in.
Yeah, if anyone's got any sponsorship
make it
ideas.
reason. make it a good reason.
Come to
for
us
turning
first,
up.
and then to Richard afterwards. If you've got Spurs.
I think I should be paying the drops actually to bring me on all the time. So,
Rich, I've just seen a couple of questions. I'm just reading some of the questions come through. One of the questions was, where can they find out more information about this? Now, you don't have this publicly available just yet, do you?
No, well, the Fearless thing, obviously, you've got the link on there, so that is live. It's just on there. It'll go on our main website probably by this evening.
Yep.
So you'll see how the Fearless piece is going to work. The Super 6 is a way off yet, but we're telling people about it. And
so if they get along, I'm just saying, if they get along to Flame Rouge Racing, which I'm putting the link back in the chat there. And they can just keep coming back to that and checking up for updates and information
Absolutely.
about.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be. Again, it won't be happening. For this year, as in 2024. It's definitely a 2025 thing.
Looking down the track. Yep.
I did have a conversation with Zwift to make sure that whatever I come and say here, I'm not going to get shot down with, and
I didn't ask. I just said what I wanted to say.
I'm a nice man. We do things on their platform, so a little bit of a heads up, I think always goes down well, and equally. The response I really got was, well, if you're encouraging people to use our website or our platform, that can only be good.
It's a good thing, isn't it? So, I mean, how can it not be?
So, I'm and you mentioned ZRL earlier. Yes, it'll be a competitor to it because it's a day afterwards. It's not going to be on a Tuesday night. Because I think that would be wrong for me to do.
Yeah, you'd be pushing it uphill to do that, I think.
Well, exactly. Yeah. But, we've got quite a following. Yeah. I think we could do things differently.
It'd be fantastic to see what kind of response and how it works out. So definitely one to watch if everyone's interested. And I can see a lot of comments in the chat there saying it looks super cool. Can't wait to check it out. So for sure.
And I need all the people out in your space of the world, Nathan. Yep. When we were on this show last time, and Mr. Brooks was on here, and he went, "Well, what would work for you?" He goes, "Well, once a week on a Tuesday or a Wednesday." Well, dreams can come true.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
And, get signed up, Brooksy.
Yep. So us Aussies, stop messing about and get onto this. You've also got on your website. There's also a Discord. A link to your Discord server, so if you want to get quick turnaround on updates and questions, jump into that as well and get along there. And Rich will do his very best to answer what he can.
Smashing, thank you.
Awesome. All right, well done. Hang around, buddy. We're going to get on to the quiz, but first we're going to do a rate my ride. So let me look for a. I'll do a transition first.
I've kind of got.
Shush. I'll do a transition. There you go.
You've got a transition and you've got an intro though.
I'm looking for the intro.
And an intro.
I'm looking for the intro.
Oh, okay. Do another transition whilst you're looking for the intro. I love the transitions.
Okay, I'll do another one.
Wang an extra.
There we go.
Oh, that's a good one.
Now I found the thing, so I'm just going to play that. Oh, that's not it.
You've got to say that comment that I've just seen. That's just been posted.
All right, there we go. And Rich was just saying a comment, so I'm not sure where that comment was.
Do you want me to say what someone posted up here? Says, they're listening to the podcast, so loving it. This sounds awesome. I haven't wanted to be a female this much since high school when I realised that being female would get me into the girls' dressing room. But there we go. Well, you don't have to be female forever.
Really interesting. I think it's going to be an awesome series, and I'm quite envious. So it'd be very fun.
Oh, it's so good to have like a team thing. Where specific roles. No one can dominate it all.
Yeah,
mixed is coming. Mixed is coming, Nathan. You don't have to be envious. Mixed is coming.
I'm envious now because I'm impatient and I want to do it now.
You can come on the 22nd.
Yeah. Okay, so Rob, talk us through who have we got this week.
Well, I've kind of gone rogue and broken all the rules of Rate My Ride this week, so it wasn't submitted other than by me. And it's my podcast as well. I can do
what you want.
My rides, and I can submit someone else's ride if I want. So
yes, you can.
I watched this ride. I watched this ride the other week, this week, and Thomas has tried to do the Zwift Academy race 2 ride, which is on the Duchy Estate, tough old route. And
hard
in
one.
the A's, you get some proper hitters turning up for these Zwift Academy rides. And I think he'd done it like 2 or 3 times before, and he'd like come second and third or something like that. And he went for it again. And nicely, he said it was inspired by me winning my race earlier in the day.
Is that the reason why you've included this in?
No, not at all. But it was just nice, because that's why I do this thing. I want to help other people win races. I want to inspire people to ride and race, and it happens. Whether it's a D cat or an A cat, I love it all. And Thomas is one of the best. So off he goes, and I've sped a lot of it up because obviously most of it's boring and stuff. But he also had pedals. I don't know if I've left the sound on or not, but he had his pedals. Oh, we can't hear the sound. But his pedals were making noises like popcorn. It was like pop, 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 pop. I don't know what was going on. I couldn't listen because I was in the
I'm lifting the audio up a little bit. I'm not sure if...
he said something good there, but I missed it. So he's really dialed in the efficiency as well. So he's never on the front unless he wants to be, pretty much. And and when he's approaching the front, it's because there's a gap going away, and he's slowed down. But he's got so good at the efficiency thing over the last year in particular. And obviously his power is incredible. He was in the the worlds and stuff like that. So
Tiny Races, we've commented on Thomas a few times.
Yeah. So he watches the watches the gaps, doesn't close everything down, waits for other people to do it. But when these 2 guys go away, he knows he's got to cover it. And then, I don't know if you know, but it's got like 2 major pitches on this route. So he just went through one of them there. And then there's a longer, more sustained pitch there. And, people push her, and it's a good place for Thomas to push as well. But someone gets away there, so someone's gone off the front. It was Zenda or something like that, and he lets the others chase him down, but he's prepared to cover it. So, and then he does the smart thing. He makes the bridge on the steepest bit, closes it down, just like a pro. Didn't do it on the flats, let other people do it, and then he makes his own push. Everyone's been really going for it on this lap, so he knows they're weak, makes the push. Serger, there was loads of jokes in the comments about surging and said, is he a surger and all the other things. It was very funny. You have to be there though, really. And so he makes a break with Serger, and McKinley from Rhinos just sits on him. So McKinley's got a huge sprint, and he always calls you a cheat if you beat him.
Yeah, okay.
So he's sitting on these 2, and so he needs to make another move, because if he goes down to the sprint with McKinley, he's going to lose. So he's got like 1300 watt sprint or something. So he knows he needs to make a move, and. Does he do it here? So here he's pushing the pushing hard. This is 500 watts. You would think he's doing 250 or something. Just look at him, like how easy it looks. And then he decides to go. They're doing like 7 watts per kilogram, is it? Go up this 5% pitch after all that racing as well. 30 minutes of hard bloody racing. And as he pushes, he just finds himself getting a little bit of a gap. And I think, right, got to go for it. Now's the time. I've got senses a little bit of weakness. McKinley's off the back a bit, and he just pushes and pushes up here. And he knows he's wasting energy because it's relatively flat. So these guys are getting draft, but he manages to open up a gap. And the way that he manages this gap is, I didn't get a gap, but he pushed McKinley out of the draft. McKinley eventually latches back on.
Yep.
And then it makes all of the little yeah, so he's making a go for it. He makes another go for it. Yeah, but doesn't get a gap there. But he's pushing, and he's constantly pushing. You know, and that's what you need to do with these sprinters. You know, put them in the red, put them in the red, put them in the red, and then he doesn't care about the chase group catching them because he knows. And we had this, right? You had this recently, didn't you? Where now he's making his big, now he's making his big move. You know, don't care about the chasers. You know that these are the strongest riders. Just concentrate on beating them. So if people are coming back, if you know you were the strongest riders, forget the chase. And that's what he does. And then on this flat bit here, he manages to manage the gap. So he's just like not going mental. But as he, ramps it up before the ramp, gets the speed up, puts the power down again, having conserved, but kept them out of his draft, crucially, on the flat bit. And now pushes home his advantage, builds the gap. McKinley's in big trouble. Serger's still pushing, but red numbers from Serger. He comes up this, but he keeps him out of his draft. Pushes, keeps that 1-2 second bit.
Mm-hmm. Big red numbers.
Serger probably managed to latch it onto him here, but it's all too little, too late, and kaboom! That is my favourite race of the year, and
Takes the win.
Is my first A on Rate My Ride. A+. Perfect.
Well, you heard it first. Congratulations, Tomo. A to you. What a mega effort. Says Darren. Yep. But no, that's awesome, right? I get blown away with his abilities. They're just incredible, and as I said, we've watched him time and time again on the Tiny Races series, and he's just he's amazing.
Yeah, my ratings aren't about winning, and and then he did another hat. He had a shark hat on afterwards as well.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, my ratings are not I would give A+ to D's and A's alike, but it was just such a masterclass in managing the gaps
and just
following. Everything was about it was just perfect.
Yep. Awesome, mate. That's fantastic. So, Tomo's in the chat too, so he was quite chuffed. He's blushing. That's what he says.
Well, it was awesome.
You embarrassed him. All right. Hey, guess what time it is?
Is it
quiz
time to just quiz time? Yay!
All right, I've been banging on enough. It's already almost an hour and a half.
Man, I know. Sorry. It's been me this week.
Don't be sorry. It's been good. It's been good. All right, guys. We're going to get into the quiz. Rich is back. There we go.
Oh, is Rich? Are you still unbeaten, Rich Vale?
He might be, actually.
Did you win last time you were on as well?
Oh, hang on 1 second. Hold on. I might have. There we go. Now, Rich can talk now.
Sorry, thank you, Nathan. You may talk now. I did win last time, yes. So,
man, you're 2 from 2. You're our most winning.
Actually, I think I'm 2 from 3. Actually, I think I'm 2 from 3.
Oh,
don't rub it in, will you?
2 and 1 in NFL terms.
Yeah.
All right, I've got to try and find here we go. Found it. Now, I did drop a couple of hints in our Discord channel, so hopefully those that are in there have already picked up on that. It'll be interesting to see how they go, but I'm just bringing up the details on the screen right now. Just give me a second while it loads, and I'm going to tap on the start button. Here we go. Okay. For those that are new, this is at the end of every show. It is a real-time quiz. You can join in and play from your smart devices. If you go to that website on the screen, you can see there, www.kahoot.it. Enter that game pin number, or conversely, you can scan the QR code that's on the screen there as well, and you can join in real time. So there are 10 questions. I think Rob... Yep, go ahead.
I did do the punishment ride, but since we're so late, we shouldn't show it. But it's available on my channel, and it was very hard. And I hate Randy races, and I hate Lee Cassidy, who came up with the idea.
Lee, that's right. Lee came up with the idea of you had to pick one gear to ride in, and you had to set your trainer difficulty to 100%, which you did. Yeah. Which gear did you pick?
Well, that was weird, actually. I picked gear 16, which is the correct gear to pick. And then somewhere along the way, I changed to 17. and didn't
Okay.
realise that I
Okay.
changed up. I just like subconsciously changed it.
Maybe, yeah.
And then
yeah.
I stupidly stayed in 17. I was like, oh, this is horrible.
So you're just cranking the big turns, were you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep,
On the last climb, it was the worst route to choose.
Yep. So I've put the question out there to people to decide on what the challenge would be for this week. And someone, I think Dave, turned around and said, do the 5 sprints in a race. So that's on the board. I do like the one I did, and you can do this too, Rob, but I did like the one I did, which was you can't have your hands on the handlebars.
Oh.
So you can get your Zwift plays, you can hold your Zwift plays in your hands, so you can change gears and do that kind of stuff, which you've got a set of Zwift plays, but you can't put your hands on the handlebars. So no standing up, unless you're quite good at standing up without holding onto the handlebars.
Oh man, yeah. You couldn't stand up, could you?
Yeah. So I think we make it those two.
Okay.
Okay. Make it easy. So those two, you happy with those two?
What was the other one? Sorry.
The other one was you had to do 5 sprints in any race.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And 5.
I hate them both. I hate them both.
Yeah, 5 15-second sprints. Anywhere in the race.
15 seconds.
15-second sprints. Yep, that's what Holly did.
Bloody hell.
Yep.
I can't sprint for 15 seconds. I'm an old man.
With bad knees.
Yeah.
All right, cracking on with this. Okay, so they're the challenges. That's what's up for grabs. If anyone beats Rob, then Rob has to do the challenge. If Rob wins, I have to do that challenge. And they're the two challenges we've listed. So let's keep that in mind. We've got 29 in there. I think, gosh, got 29 in there.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yep. I'm just
That's
looking
a
through
lot
some
of people for me to beat.
Yeah, that's right. Arctic's there, Team Holly, Super 6. There we go. Randy's in. Lisa Hopkins, DV, Mr. Test Tickle. Thank you very much. Damo's there. Who else? Trixie. Say no to ZRS. I would love to give out prizes for some of these names. Sorry?
Who's Karagi?
I don't know. And that's the thing. This is all anonymous. We've got no idea who's who. So it's quite. Yep, he's back. He's back. He's been a winner too. OD there.
Peter's there. Peter's.
All right, we're going to crack into this. We're going to get this done. Okay, we ready to go?
Let's go, baby. Yeah.
All right. So this is predominantly, it's about the Tour of Watopia, but there's a couple of other non-Tour of Watopia questions in there. Sorry, Rich, I was going to put some FRR stuff in there, but I just didn't get the chance to do it. Which route will be raced on Saturday and Sunday? The Community Racing Festival, which route will be raced on Saturday and Sunday?
Doom, 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 doom.
All right. Yes, that is right. It is all of them. They'll rotate them all weekend. Okay, next question. How we go with the results there? So Super 6. Is that you?
That's me.
Is it? Oh, there we go.
No, it can't be me. It can't be me. It's not
No,
Super 6.
no,
I like it though. Someone's already using the terminology. That's what I
love
love.
the 6. I love the 6 there too. All right, next question. Question number 2. Tour of Watopia Stage 1, downtown to Volcano via Epic Route, does not include which route? So that first Stage 1, which I think is on next week, doesn't include which one of those routes listed. Oh, I don't want to hear excuses. Oh, Dave says he's Super 6. Sand and Sequoias. How'd you go, Rob? Did you get that one?
I did get that one. I know that one's in like the 3rd or 4th weeks.
We've had a complete change of the top 5. That's awesome. So Jeanette from Fearless is on there. Oh, that's good to see. Team Holly's next. Zwifty's back into 3rd. Okay.
Oh, Randy remembered our conversation.
Which is?
We talked about when Sand and Skies was on.
Okay, gotcha. All right, next question. Which kit is the kit which is unlocked for the current 2024 Tour of Watopia? And I've actually got the pictures there, so you can just tap on the picture. Hopefully that works.
I'll recognise all of these.
Yes. But did you choose the right one, though?
Yeah, well, am I?
I did.
Oh, Randy's moved up.
Oh, it's Randy and Zwifty. It's a classic combination.
It's another head-to-head battle. Okay. That's question number 3. Question number 4. Next question. True or false? Double points.
Oh, double point.
The mountain route includes the radio tower.
Oh, I don't know. Oh no! Oh no! I got it wrong! I got it wrong! Oh.
What'd you choose?
Well,
You chose false, didn't you? You chose poorly.
Yeah.
Oh, Eric's from Don't Get Drop Cycling is up there. Damo's moving to 3rd. Karagi's in 4th. And
I've never done the mountain route. I said last week I didn't know what the mountain route was. That's why I don't know, because it's got mountain in it.
I can't help you if you just don't learn this stuff. What can I do? Oh, and I should add, I know there's a bunch of new people. I usually try and give a complete spiel at the start of these. The faster you answer, the more points you get, as opposed to just getting it right. So you got to be quick. Next question. In Tour of Utopia Stage 2, the group ride standard Serpentine 8 features what? No power-ups, only anvil power-ups, gravel bikes only, or mountain bikes only? Has a particular feature. It's the only one of the Tour of Utopia that has this feature.
Oh, got it.
You got it.
I'm in 9th place, though.
Jeanette's moved back up. Jonathan Holst is there. Oh, this is getting fiery.
It's always mountain bike only. I should have got that quicker.
Yeah. That's an easy one. All right, next question. Which Tour of Utopia Stage 1 route is this? I've got to remember to read out the answers so people can listen to it later on. It is the mountain route. It happens to be that was a follow-on from the previous question. So how'd you go, Rob? Did you get that one?
Yes, I did get that one.
Excellent. Oh, but not fast enough, though. Eric's moved up.
Oh.
Jeanette's still in 3rd. Jonathan's there in 4th. And Karagi is in 5th. Good going. Next question. According to Zwift Insider, Road to Sky has what distance and what elevation? So is it 12.2 kilometers and 1,036 meters? Is it 12.2 and 1,045? Is it 17.3 and 1167? Or is it 17.3 and 1045? You're getting quite nervous.
Yeah.
There we are. Oh, he's moved back up.
Horrible things.
Mrs. Testicle has moved up to 4th.
Oh, wow. Look at how big the lead is, though.
Yeah, cruising now.
Oh,
Absolutely.
did I miss the double pointer? I think I missed the double pointer.
You may have.
Oh.
Yeah, there's another double pointer coming.
Oh, is there?
Yeah,
wow.
there's 2 double pointers.
Double points.
Yeah, always on the true or
we're going
false.
crazy this week.
Get out of town. All right, next question. When Zwift first launched, it featured only one route. What was that route called? Was it Utopia's Waistband, Figure 8, Hilly Route, or the Flat Route?
Oh no, I think I got it wrong. Oh no, I got it right.
Oh, I think Richard's got it right as well. He's getting the old fist pump.
Oh,
Randy's Randy's got this stitched up.
Randy
has it stitched up.
We hate you. Oh,
but there is double points coming up, so you got to be quick on that one.
Oh.
And Damo's seen there nicely in 30s, moved up. Eric slowed down to 4th, and Mrs. Testicle is in 5th.
I didn't get that the first time.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Question number 9. Which Tour of Utopia 2024 route is the longest by distance?
What?
Picture's not loading. Don't I put a picture there? Maybe I didn't.
I needed to be quicker there. Did you
get it right?
I did get it right.
Ooh,
Randy didn't get it. Randy didn't get it. Come on.
All right, so we'll come to the last question. It is double points, so this could be the make or break. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Randy, are you ready? I'm sure you're listening to this. Are you ready, Randy? Let's do it. Last question. True or false? Double points. The first tour of Watopia event appeared in 2019. True or false?
No idea. What will it be? What will it be?
Randy says no idea either. False. Did you get false? Let's find out. Okay. In third, drum roll, Mrs. Testicle. Well, thank you very much. In second, oh no! Swifty! Oh,
so
and just
close.
by a hair, Randy has taken out with 9 points. So a couple of runners up there.
Well.
You were fast, but not fast enough.
Not as fast as Randy.
Yeah,
she's
congratulations.
Sprinter.
Clap.
She's a sprinter. How am I going to compete with that? She's like half my age.
Oh, so you're pulling the age card out now, are we?
Yeah, but oh man, it's not fair. Competing against all these.
All right,
youngsters.
Randy. So the two choices were Rob has to do either 5 15-second sprints in any of his chosen races, or he has to race a community festival race with no hands on the handlebars, but he can hold the Zwift plates in his hand to change gears and do things, but he can't hold the... There we go. No hands. There we go.
Oh, what? They're both rubbish.
Well, there's the answer. No hands racing, so we can look forward to seeing that next week. And as I said, Rob did do the challenge from last week, which Randy stitched him up for, and you can go and find that on his @SwiftySwifter channel. So, yeah, absolutely.
Surely she should get upgraded now. There should be like an extra quiz.
Some sort of category system?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she should be A category. I'm B category. I'm comfortable in B category, but I can't compete with these A category quizzes.
I'll talk to the Zwift and get them to help us with some sort of categorization system.
Yeah.
It's clearly understandable. All right, guys, that's it. We've hit a home run here. It's thank you for everyone joining us. There's a lot of people in the chat. I think we hit some great numbers there, especially in the quiz as well. Thanks, Rich Vale there from FRR, and I've placed the links to his website in the description there. I'll also put it in the thing. What's the description? That's it. Down the bottom of the show, and you can go and check it out and have a look at what's going on there. Rob, as always, mate, thank you very much. It's been awesome. So next week, hopefully, we're going to have Emma Martin on the show.
Yeah,
So
it's the Worlds. We haven't talked about all that stuff.
Yeah, we'll look out for that. So definitely we'll be speaking about that when we have her on the show. And so it should be lots of fun. But Rob, take us home, mate.
Oh, I forgot to mention that tomorrow I might well be doing my 1000th Zwift race at 10:10 in the morning. If you want to join me on Innsbruck Ring, classic course.
How many laps?
It'll only be for... Oh, I don't know, actually. No,
is this your event or is this a race? It says 3 laps.
No,
if it's a race.
It's a Z race.
Yeah, it's a 3-lap thing.
Yep. Event. Yeah, okay. So yeah, 10:10 or 11 minutes past 10, I suppose.
Well,
the British sometime.
Yep. If you grab us a link and drop it to me, I'll put it in the description of this so people can come along and join if they want to join in.
Okay, well, yeah, so I'll be doing it tomorrow, so why don't you get out of the saddle and in the drops.
Bye.
Bye.